Eagles fan, the NFL is a place where the narrative changes at the speed of light. And today, we have in our hands one of the most ironic, bizarre, and potentially dangerous stories of the season. Just a few days ago, we were here discussing eggs thrown at Kevin Patullo's house. We were discussing Nick Sirianni's intervention in the offense because things weren't working. The fan base was calling for the offensive coordinator's head. And guess what happens now? While we criticize, the rest of the league covet. Bombshell reports from Sports Illustrated and NFL Network indicate that Kevin Patullo is not only a strong candidate to become a head coach in 2026, but that a direct division rival, a mortal enemy, could be his destination. Imagine the man who knows all of Jalen Hurts' secrets wearing blue in New York. That is what we need to talk about. The information comes from Patrick McAvoy of Sports Illustrated, based on lists of head coaching candidates compiled by experts like Connor Orr and Tom Pelissero. According to them, Kevin Patullo's name is circulating strongly behind the scenes as one of the top candidates to take over a team next season. Connor Orr, senior writer for the Sports Illustrated, went further and said it would be a surprise if the New York Giants didn't interview him for the head coach vacancy, since the job in New York is open in this 2025 scenario. Before we talk about the Giants, let's look in the mirror. The news text uses the term revolving door to describe the offensive coordinator position for the Eagles, and it is the absolute truth. Since Nick Sirianni took over in 2021, we haven't had peace. We had Shane Steichen, who was poached by the Colts, Brian Johnson, who left burned Kellen Moore, who went to the Saints, and now Kevin Patullo. That is 4 coordinators in 5 years. No franchise, no matter how talented, can sustain long-term success by changing the system and the voice in the quarterback's ear every year. If Patullo leaves, Jalen Hurts will have his 5th different coordinator. That is poison for a QB's development. Now focus on the scariest part, the Giants. Why would the New York Giants want Kevin Patullo? First, because it is a copycat league. They look at the Eagles' recent success despite the current crisis and want a piece of that. But there is a darker strategic reason. Hiring a division rival's offensive coordinator is the perfect strike. Patullo knows Jalen Hurts' weaknesses better than anyone. He knows the audibles, he knows the line codes, he knows how Sirianni thinks. If he goes to New York, he takes the Eagles' codebook with him. We would face the Giants twice a year against a coach who helped build our offense. It is a tactical nightmare scenario. You fan who was mad about the anemic offense against the Chargers must be asking yourself who in their right mind wants to hire the guy who commanded an offense scoring 15 points per game. Connor Orr's analysis explains it. Patullo's strength isn't necessarily play calling, something he started doing this year and has struggled with. His strength is big picture thinking. He has been Sirianni's right-hand man for years. He helps build the coaching staff, manage the locker room, make macro decisions. The league sees him as a CEO, a manager, and not just as an X's and O's strategist. That is why even with the Eagles' offense struggling, his market value remains high. This creates a fascinating paradox for us fans. Part of the fan base, the ones who threw eggs and boo at the stadium, is probably thinking, please take him, pay for his Uber to New York. If you think he's the problem with the offense, his departure is a blessing. But the other part, the one thinking about Jalen Hurts' stability, is terrifying. Losing yet another coordinator means starting from scratch in 2026. It means new terminology, new adaptation. Jalen Hurts will have to learn a new offensive dialect for the umpteenth time. Is it worth getting rid of Patullo to bring in, I don't know, a 5th unknown name? The article mentions a crucial point. When you have the success Philadelphia has had over the last few years, teams are going to want to poach coaches left and right. It is the curse of being good, or having been good. The Eagles have turned into a coach factory. Shane Steichen is with the Colts, Jonathan Gannon with the Cardinals, Kellen Moore with the Saints. If Patullo becomes a HC, Nick Sirianni's coaching tree will get bigger than Andy Reid's in record time. This is a compliment to the organization, but it is a logistical hell for Howie Roseman, who every year needs to interview new candidates in February when he should be focused on the draft. We need to remember that Kevin Patullo is not just an employee, he is a personal friend and confidant of Nick Sirianni. They worked together in Indianapolis. When Sirianni came to Philly, Patullo was the first name he brought. He was the passing game coordinator before being promoted. Losing Patullo would be losing Sirianni's most loyal advisor. With Sirianni himself on the hot seat and under pressure, losing his right-hand man to a rival could leave him even more isolated and vulnerable inside the building. If this exit is confirmed, 2026 promises to be a year of turbulence. Imagine the scenario: the Eagles finish this season maybe badly, Patullo accepts the job with the Giants, and Sirianni needs to find a new OC. Who will want to come here? An experienced offensive coordinator will look at Philly and think, the QB is under pressure, the head coach could be fired at any moment, the fans throw eggs better, I go somewhere else. The Eagles' offensive coordinator job, which used to be the most coveted in the league, could become a hot potato. It is also worth criticizing the national media. Tom Pelissero and Connor Orr list Patullo as a top candidate. Did they watch the Eagles' last few games? Did they see the 5 turnovers against the Chargers? Sometimes the reputation behind the scenes of the NFL, the so-called network, is worth more than the production on the field. Patullo is liked among executives, speaks well, presents himself well. That counts a lot in interviews. But for us, who suffer with every unconverted third down, it seems like a bad joke seeing him being quoted for a promotion after a mediocre performance. Let's go back to the Giants. They have been a mess for years, but if they get the coach right, New York has resources, has a market. If Patullo is the brain they say he is, and he manages to organize the house there, we will have a giant problem in the NFC East. Do not underestimate internal knowledge. A former Eagles coordinator coaching the Giants would transform the 2 annual games into chess wars where they already start knowing our plays. So here we are. The most criticized man in Philadelphia today is the most desired man by New York tomorrow. Kevin Patullo could be the next to leave the Eagles' revolving door. Whether this is good or bad depends on how you view his blame in the current crisis. But one thing is certain. Seeing him on the opposing sideline wearing Giants colors and whispering in their QB's ear about how to stop Vic Fangio's defense that is going to hurt. Fan, I need your brutal honesty now. If the New York Giants offer the head coach job to Kevin Patullo, what is your reaction? Option A, go with God. I'll drive him to the airport right now. You think he is the problem? Option B, worrying. I don't want to lose continuity, nor have him take our secrets to a rival. And more, do you think it is fair for him to be promoted to head coach after the unstable season the Eagles' offense is having? Has the NFL gone crazy, or are we the ones not seeing his value? Leave your opinion in the comment. This discussion about the coaching staff will dominate the offseason, but it started now. Leave a like if you enjoyed this backstage analysis and subscribe to the channel. Here, we don't let anything slip by. Fly Eagles, fly.